Just before the lockdown, I was leading a workshop where the topic of stress dominated. And it made me reflect on my biggest ever project failure. It revolved around stress and a lack of resilience. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. Actually, this video is prompted by an email I got from someone recently. It said something like this: I need help. My day should have 48 hours. And the stress at work is so high, I cannot think clearly. I am doing too much. I get done half the tasks and I end up exhausted. Does that sound familiar? If it is, your first priority is to get a break. At the very least, get a good full weekend with plenty of rest, plenty of time with family and friends, plenty of good food and relaxation, and some exercise too. Your next step is to redesign your time away from your work environment and to prioritize good sleep, getting enough sleep and enough rest during each day. And each day, getting some good food, at least one good quality meal, eaten slowly. Some exercise. Each week you should have at least 3 decent bouts of exercise where you can take your mind off your work and let your body recharge its physical batteries. This will start to refresh your emotional and psychological reserves and give you some perspective to properly assess your situation, and in particular, to assess whether what you're dealing with is a sense of overwhelm or a genuine overload. Overwhelm is when we feel we cannot cope with the work we have. Overload is when objectively we have too much work to be able to manage. And I've done a video about overwhelm and how to overcome overwhelm that you can take a look at. But what if you are genuinely overloaded? What if you do not have the resources and the time available to deliver the work that's required of you? If you're genuinely overloaded and have too much work, your next step is to book some time with your client, your boss, your project sponsor, the person to whom you are working. With them, you need to discuss solutions, and among those solutions, you need to talk about things like support. What support can you get, either from them or from someone else, a mentor, a coach, a guide? Resourcing. What other resources can you access to support you through the process? Reducing your workload. Perhaps allocating some of your workload to somebody else. Or maybe relaxing some of the less important timescales, or possibly even reducing some of the quality standards you and your team are expected to work to. You can work with your sponsor to find better, quicker, more efficient ways to work. Or perhaps to understand any misinterpretations you've made about the expectations that are upon you. At the very least, sitting down with your sponsor or your boss or your client, they will understand the situation you are in, and they will be able to guide you as to their priorities and what you should be really focusing on. And by the way, it isn't a sign of weakness to admit that you need help. It's a sign of strength that shows you have the confidence to know that you can succeed, but that you can't do it alone. Without a doubt, my biggest project failure was a meltdown that came about through a combination of an extreme triggering event and not enough sleep, not enough perspective, not enough exercise, and not enough good food. I was physically and mentally exhausted, and when the triggering event came, I just couldn't cope with it. But here's the thing. A good night's sleep, a short break away from the project, some good food, and some exercise fixed everything. I came back to the project 24 hours later, fresh, energized, and ready to tackle the problems. and we got through it. Do you know what? If that triggering event had come a week or 2 weeks later, after another 5, 10, 15 days of not enough sleep, poor food, no exercise, not much daylight, and no social interactions beyond the day-to-day hustle and bustle of the project, then who knows, one night's sleep may not have been enough. I may not have been able to find a way back quickly to coping and delivering that project. After that project, I made a decision to dedicate some of my time and some of my energy to studying and learning about and understanding stress and resilience. It may seem odd to you because you know me as a project manager, as a project management expert, but of my 14 print books, the best-selling by far is my book on stress management. And that only came about through a chance remark to my editor when I was writing my book on time management. So if you're interested in my book, Brilliant Stress Management, How to Manage Stress, then I'll put links and details in the description below. But the takeaway message from this video is simple. Do this today. Survey and assess your own stress levels and your own levels of personal resiliency. Think about the things that you can do, that you can build into your routine and your habits to enhance your mental, your physical, your psychological and your emotional resilience so that you're ready for the tough times that projects can present. Stress may not be a problem for you today, I hope it isn't. But it's never too soon to bolster your reserves and to prepare for the stress ahead. Please give us a like if you've enjoyed this video. There's loads more great project management content to come, so please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of it. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.